All right. Are you ready for week number 5 in the NFL? We're talking fantasy football. Uh, to get things started, we'll do the pimp versus the simp. You want to
All
go over
right.
last week?
Now you're kind of ruining my bit because I've been trying to make it so it's hard, right? So that when we get to the end of the year, we can do a good punishment. Right now, you're 3-0, and it looks like I'm the one that's going to get punished for my own bit. So, so we might think of a punishment. It might be rather tame versus what I had planned for you, but
Yeah, we'll see.
uh, just to recap, we did Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs versus Tua and Tyreek Hill. I was thinking it was going to be, a hard hitting matchup, especially after what Miami did to the Broncos, what everybody's basically doing to the Broncos besides the Bears. Um, but no, Diggs decided he was going to score over and over and over. So it wasn't anywhere close. This week, I feel like any other year would be a completely unfair matchup. But with how this year is shaking out for this particular quarterback, I might be giving you a little bit of an edge unless he gets his shit together. So we're doing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So another duo versus Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Uh, the Lions are facing Carolina. I just looked, but I can't remember who the Bengals are facing this week. Um, like is reports that Joe Burrow might even get sat halfway through the season, just with how bad he is doing, how unhappy Jamar Chase is right now. Jamar Chase is considered probably the second or third, at least right now, with Tyreek Hill doing Tyreek Hill things. Best wide receiver in the league. And he is not producing, as I would know, since he is on my fantasy team for best ball, and he doesn't even make my lineup most weeks for best ball. I think he's only actually made the lineup once, which is
Mhm.
embarrassing.
Yeah, he's had a lot of
Um,
disappointing weeks.
if you had to choose into going into this week, because it could be, you could have Joe Burrow and Jared Goff on your team, and like, who do I play? Because do you really want to risk benching Joe Burrow for Jared Goff? But if you had to choose, who you picking? Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff duo, or the Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow duo?
Well, first off, St. Brown, I don't think he practiced today. They still expect him to play,
Okay.
but I'm a little worried picking him for that reason. But again, who are the Lions playing this week?
Carolina. So
Carolina.
not the greatest defense.
And then Cincinnati is playing.
I
Um,
didn't see. I had it in front of me and I
who
forgot.
is it? Let me check here. I'm already kind of leaning that way. So the Lions game at home too. That's kind of what I'm wondering. Uh,
I think so.
Chase. I don't have any Bengals on that team. Oh, they're playing Arizona. Oh, yeah. Give me Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
All right. Do you think Joe Burrow's going to get his shit together this week, or you just think it's the better matchup? What's your thought process
Um,
there?
yeah, a lot of it's matchup. Um,
Mm,
it's funny you asked Joe Burrow because like when people on Discord, I like all the questions, but I hate the like Joe Burrow questions because
yeah.
I I just yeah I don't like picking him right now because he's not 100%
Yeah.
healthy. Um,
Nope.
but
Not
I think part
100%
of that is
healthy.
I think Jamar will outdo Brown by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Brown
Yeah.
might actually have an off week. I hate to say it.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first. I thought it was more interesting too because obviously everybody's talking about Joe Burrow. Everybody's hating on Joe Burrow right now when
Mhm.
last year it was all love for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow could do no wrong for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And this year, I don't know. It's whether, I mean, yeah, he's still hurt, not
Yeah.
100%, but maybe he's also got a little bit of a case of the yips, that goes around for some athletes for a little bit. Um, we'll see. I
Yeah.
think it's not going to last. I think if the Bengals were to bench him, just outright bench him, not injury's sake, right? It'd be stupid. Got to
Yeah.
let him play out whatever he's dealing with. But I mean, if it's injury sake, I mean, I don't even know why they rushed him to come back. They should have gave him at least the first 2 weeks off and do what you need to do. And now they're kind of in this really bad situation where they look like the jokes of the NFL right now.
Mhm.
And that's saying a lot compared to looking at what the Bears and the Broncos and all that are as a team too. And everybody's focused on them. So, um, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully Jamar puts up a lot of points for me. And yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
now
me
let's
too.
just go through the teams and we'll just talk if we're buying or selling anyone. Starting off with the Buffalo Bills. This week, I'm not buying or selling anyone. If you're in a deep fantasy football league, it is worth it to pick up Latavius Murray if he's still on waivers. Deep being
Yep.
like 10 starters and like 12 teams. Just a lot of teams, a lot of starters you gotta have to make it worth it. Otherwise, he's nothing but.
Right.
Um,
He's uh he's the perfect running back to have for something like if you're playing a best ball league or something, because he just has a couple weeks here and there where he just explodes out of nowhere, and then he'll have a week or two after that, and then he's pretty dead after that for a while. But he is a great running back to have if you're in a bench. Great running back.
Next, Miami Dolphins. Um, the running backs there. It's so Devon A Chain. I know he had the good week against Buffalo, where he got the touchdown points. Jeff Wilson is not coming off IR this week. I saw,
Hmm.
so I still like those two. I don't know for how long. It's really a
Yeah,
weird situation. I can't really compare their backfield to anything I've had to deal with.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, like a
Uh,
week ago I would have said sell, but now I'm kind of hold because
yeah.
If you got Devon A Chain, because again he had another good week. So yeah,
I think if you have Raheem Mostert, I would sell him.
especially Dynasty,
Yeah,
31
for
years
sure.
old. Yeah,
Right. H8, I don't know. After after what happened 2 weeks ago, and then what he did too against the Bills, it's like something clicked. He just
yeah,
kind of figured it out, and he is just dominating. Right. He's doing what you kind of thought Bijan was gonna do this year.
yeah,
Um, So no, obviously, if you have him, you're not selling him for almost anything besides if you're getting a ton back,
yeah,
and you don't need the running back. But this
yeah.
year, everybody needs the running back, so I don't see how that could be an issue for you. Um, the Jeff Wilson is where it gets a little tricky for me. I don't think I want him, to be honest. I feel like HA is gonna get all the good runs out of the team, and the other two are just going to pick up slack when he's tired. So the Jeff Wilson's where it's hard. I know he did really well last year, before he got hurt, but I don't know.
So yeah, I guess from you, A Chain Wilson would just be holds buy, or I mean
Yeah,
sell would be Moster, and I'm kind of in the same boat.
yeah,
Because yeah, A Chain like the first week he didn't even suit up because of health, so you can't hold that again against him. Next, New England Patriots, they got destroyed by the Cowboys.
sell
Uh,
everything.
yeah,
I I know you're still a big Belichick guy, and stuff like that, and I know we can get to what you think as far as their defense goes, because their defense is still decent, right?
Yeah.
But if you have anybody on their offense, just sell for whatever you can because it's a bad team. Such a bad team.
Yeah. Not gonna name any players we go against, but I saw one of them start Zeke over like Brees Hall
Yeah,
and Damian Pierce, and Zeke did like nothing. I was like, what are you doing? Just because he's playing
even
his whole team, the Cowboys? Like, how stupid are you? But, anyways,
that
yeah,
and the reports like 2 hours before the game was that Zeke was going to like get majority of the touches. He got no touches.
why? Someone
That's
said
what
he,
Belichick
oh,
said.
just because, oh, he's playing the Cowboys. We got to show them up. We got to show them what they're missing.
Right.
That's,
And I did see that Belichick said it, and as soon as I saw that he said it, that's when the red flags went up. It's like, all right, he's obviously it's a misdirection, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. People just believe what the coaches are saying in press conferences before a game. It's just stupid. So
Yeah, they had a wide receiver against against the Eagles week one. I think Kendrick Bourne is his name. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's like
mm,
their slot guy, and yeah, that you should have sold him 3 weeks ago because you ain't getting nothing right now. But yeah, everything Patriots offensively sell. Defense,
yeah,
they lost. I think I just saw a video that they lost their first round pick, Christian Gonzalez.
yeah,
To season-ending injury. Didn't see what the injury was or don't remember. But I'm still good with their defense. As a matter of fact, they play the Saints this
right.
week. Derek Carr, who knows health wise where he's at. I actually like that defense this week.
Derek
Next,
Carr is supposed to play. So I've heard so far.
yeah,
Staying with the Patriots for a second, your thoughts on like Mac Jones. So his rookie year, I don't remember if you were too high on him. I know I was super high on Mac Jones
yeah.
coming into the league. He showed real promise his rookie year. Ever since then, he's been bad. Um, do you think he's going to get benched soon, or do you think they're just going to trade him off for parts at some point here?
Well, I think he's gonna get the season to see to
Yeah,
prove it, or else if they're like a bottom 10 team, yeah, they're picking quarterback then for sure.
right.
That's some with this next draft class. It's more than just the top two. There's actually going to be a handful of good quarterbacks. This will be like the 2012 class. Also a handful of good running backs. Um, I was watching some highlights today. Raheem Sanders,
Mm,
Blake Corman, who we were just talking about.
yeah.
Then Wisconsin, they got a big back that looks like Derrick Henry,
Okay.
Braylon Allen. But anyways, yeah, they'll yeah, he'll probably get traded for like a fifth round pick or something if
Okay.
he doesn't figure it out.
Yeah. I agree. Next up, who we got?
New York Jets.
Oof. So, well,
Just just generally speaking, so they had offensively. They probably had one of their better offensive games of the year that they're gonna have this year because I don't think Rodgers is coming back. So um, I don't know if I sent you any trades for Alan Lazard, but I've been in
no.
leagues where I have him just trying to get whatever, and
Yeah.
it's so crazy too. Even after he scores a touchdown, and like there's one league I was trying to get Jalen Hyatt who had like two
Yep.
points, and it's like, dude, you won't even make this. But yeah, Jets, they're still a sell.
Yep.
Everything wide receivers, which you should have already done, quarterback. Because yeah, I'm sure there's people this week saying, "Oh, Zach Wilson's figuring it out." No.
Yep. What are your thoughts, dynasty wise, with Garrett Wilson? That's
Well,
where I'm on the fence because obviously Rodgers is saying he's going to come back next year.
yeah,
I know you believe he's going to come back this year, but how old he is, the kind of injury he has. I mean, I don't. I kind of feel like what he's been doing, especially with the Pat McAfee show, is kind of a show. You know, just kind of what he does in the offseason, just kind of bringing in to regular season. I don't know if he's coming back, man. I really don't. But then
And
even then,
yeah.
ugh, I don't know.
And I think it kind of depends too. You know, is your team 0-4? Well, okay, might as well just hold them for next
Yeah,
season when Rodgers is back. Is your team 4-0? Like, do you have a real shot to win? Yeah, then I want to see if I can, take a wide receiver a tier down like DK
yeah,
Metcalf, and I'll even give you a pick, second or third or
right.
whatever. Um, you can have Garrett Wilson, who's younger, who again in startups so it's like a second rounder. Um, so, yeah, I guess kind of depends where your record's at.
Yeah.
Uh, Next here, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sell, sell,
Yeah,
sell, sell. Kenny Pickett's out.
yeah, it's been a rough first month for Kenny Pickett, and they can blame the offensive coordinator there all they want. Um, I don't. I mean, we in here in Minnesota, we had fans complaining about offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator during the Zimmer years, and
Yeah.
Kirk still put up good numbers.
Yep.
Jefferson too.
Um, yeah, that, and then with Mitch Trubisky as the backup. I mean, Mitch Trubisky's not going to do anything for you fantasy wise. There's no point in holding out
Mm-hmm.
hopes for that. Um, I know Najee Harris started to show a little bit of life in that game this past week, but I'm not a huge Najee fan as it is. Um, I think he's really underwhelming. So yeah, I'm sell all.
Yeah. Uh, and yeah, he's not the most efficient Najee Harris. Next, Baltimore Ravens. So
Oof.
Odell, Rashad Bateman, both out this last weekend, and they won by quite a bit.
Yep.
Lamar had some crazy accurate throws, so I still like what I see from him. Like, am I saying go out and buy him? No, because the price is still going to be crazy high. Sell?
I know.
No, because he's still got more. So here just be a hold for me.
Right.
Um,
Yep. And even then, like the people that have Lamar aren't going to get rid of him. I've been trying to get Lamar from you for a year and a half, and you're
yeah,
not going to give him to me for anything. You know,
yeah,
I could give you half my squad, and you probably still hang on to him. So the people that have Lamar aren't going to. So trying to buy is not even close to even worth trying unless you're playing against noobs. Zay Flowers though, that's somebody you could probably buy from people if you like it what you see. Personally, I do. That's
yeah,
why I have him. And I mean, Odell's old. He's gonna keep getting hurt here and there, especially if he does stick around a little bit. So I'm a Zay Flowers fan.
yeah. He's putting in the work. Mark Andrews finally had a good week. He's back, 2 touchdowns.
I know.
Uh, not too many moves to do there. Next, Cincinnati Bengals. Um,
Oof. Here we go.
another rough week. Uh, I mean, yeah, I'd buy Jamar. I saw some trades this week in Discord. People asking about getting him. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's a buy to me.
For me, yes, Jamar is a buy if you're trying to get him. If you have him, he's a hold because you're not
Yeah,
getting jack shit for him. And he's a first round pick, right? He's somebody you took in your first round in a startup. If you're selling him for nothing, you're in a dynasty. You're an idiot. Just hold on. Even
yeah.
if you got to wait till next year, just chill.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's those
Uh,
people that are like, I'm not skidding anything. I'm 0-4. I need to do something. No, just it's fine. It's a dynasty league. Just hold tight. Wait till next year if you have to. There's still a lot of season left.
yeah, and that brings me to another thing. Not to repeat myself with Joe Burrow because you brought up the question there, but
Mhm.
it does frustrate me when people take a quarterback early, fourth, fifth round. Well, early in my opinion, fourth, fifth round.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, and then like you guys are already giving up on him. Like That's why you wait to do quarterback because you only need one
Yep.
in regular one quarterback redraft leagues. That's why
Mm-hmm.
that's why you wait because
Yep.
it's just not that important. Next, but yeah, so I guess Burrow in a redraft is a sell,
Yep.
buy in a dynasty. Next, Cleveland Browns.
Ugh.
Um, so Deshaun out of nowhere didn't start. I must not have been paying attention to this shoulder problem he had, but like 30 minutes before the game on Sunday, all of a sudden, oh, Deshaun Watson's out. I better. There was one league I had him starting, and I had to go right away and take him out.
Yeah.
And
So did you see
flip.
the story with that?
No,
So he was
enlighten us.
medically cleared
Oh,
to play, and he just said, "No, I'm just not. I'm not playing. I don't feel right about it." And it's just, you're medically cleared. Why aren't you playing?
yeah. Okay, so yeah,
So
that I actually did see. A little
yeah,
suspicious. They have the bye this week, so was it like okay, now I get an extra week to get healthy? We'll see.
yeah,
One guy to buy in redraft, Amari Cooper, the wide receiver there. I think he got like close to no points. That
yep,
was a backup. They have a rookie, DTR. Looked great in the preseason, but that's the preseason.
yep.
Real regular season, he didn't look good. When Deshaun's back, I got a lot of confidence still in Amari, so that's someone to buy. No, you're not buying Amari Cooper.
I'm not touching a Brown with a 10-foot pole. Hell
Finished
no.
wide
Especially
receiver
not
nine
while
last year.
no, I'm not touching him. And especially with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's bad. He's so bad. I don't get why the Browns paid him that much money or anything like. I've always thought he was bad, even before all the stupid shit. But like, he's so bad. And he's so
So
inconsistent.
so that reminds me too. Another stupid start last week in our 10-man league.
Yeah.
Someone at their super flex spot put Jerome Ford, who did
Oh yeah.
barely anything, and he had like Richardson on the
Yeah.
bench, just Bijan Robinson, two guys he just used first round picks on. Just saying,
Yeah.
um, yeah, we don't play with the smartest people, obviously. But
Nope.
yeah, keeping it moving. Houston Texans. So uh, for redraft leagues, I was literally about to pick up CJ Stroud in our redraft league right
Yeah.
before the Brian 69 guy did. No joke. He's someone to pick up still. Everything here is a buy because it's cheap. Tank, Nico, CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know like all the big guys. With all the TV shows as far as like fantasy football are concerned, they're saying to start CJ over any quarterback, even Patrick Mahomes. You start him,
No,
which is
not at all.
nuts, which is nuts. But as of right now, he is showing a lot of promise for sure.
Yeah, he's
Him
he's
and
having an
Anthony.
incredible start.
Yeah,
I like him at the super flex spot, but holy cow, over Mahomes,
yeah.
Jalen Hurts, Josh
Jalen
Allen.
Hurts
Whoa,
has just
whoa,
not
whoa.
been great. Jalen Hurts has not been great fantasy wise so far, but yeah. But I agree. I'm not starting CJ over Jalen.
All right, moving on. Colts. We can get into JT here. I looked it up a handful of times and could not figure out whether he actually practiced today. Okay, you're
Uh,
shaking his head. He did.
yeah, yeah. He was at practice. I don't know if he actually did anything, but he was there. Um, Obviously that's two very different conversations
Yeah.
there. Um, I don't know if he actually was practice, but I know he was at least in the building.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
so
yeah, I guess it would have been breaking news today
yeah,
if he wasn't doing anything. So
yep,
Zach Moss is to me a sell, even though I still wouldn't be surprised before the trade deadline if JT is traded.
yep,
Um, again, the team I originally thought he was getting traded to, the Miami Dolphins. I
Don't
don't
need
know
him.
if that's gonna happen. Yeah, because A-Chain's looking good. Raheem
Chiefs.
Mostert's fast and still looks good. So
I'm still feeling the Chiefs. From everything I was seeing and hearing, it hasn't gone away. It's gone a little quieter, but it hasn't gone away. The Chiefs have no run game for the most part, besides Isaiah Pacheco. But even then, we'll get to Isaiah a little bit, but I'm not too crazy about him. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is awful, awful.
yeah,
Um,
he's
so
definitely the backup now. He doesn't get as many touches, but I guess last thing on the Colts. So
gotta say it,
he
gotta say
JT. Again with him, I don't see him if he's active this Sunday being a backup. So I have a hard time starting Moss going forward, Zach Moss.
it. Yeah.
And say
What
what?
about what about your favorite quarterback? Come
Yeah,
on.
okay. He scored some points in garbage time, yeah.
Garbage time. He almost won the game by himself. Anthony Richardson is a buy, especially Dynasty. He runs. He's going to score all those touchdowns with his feet. He is a better super flex option to have beside than CJ Stroud. 100%.
I'll give you this. Right now, I would take Richardson over Justin Fields in fantasy football.
Anybody is going to say that. Justin Fields is
Okay.
awful.
Okay.
No,
Because
it,
yeah.
where do you have CJ Stroud? Approximately, do you think?
If we were to do a startup super
Out
flex,
of
he'd be a
let's
second
say,
rounder
well, let's say out of the
at least.
32 quarterbacks, approximately, where do you think you would have him as for fantasy, not like overall talent or
Dynasty?
anything like that? Yeah, dynasty, probably what 15, a little
Oh,
higher.
for sure, top 15. Like top 12.
All right, well then, Anthony Richardson's 11. He's
No,
he's at least one
no,
higher because
no.
he runs, man. CJ does not run anywhere close to like he does.
Yeah,
Plus, you get
but
all those fantasy points for him running.
yeah, and Lamar makes it work, but I
Exactly.
I'm coming up with Richardson, but I'm not all the way there yet. You still got
So
injuries to deal with.
he's the
No,
young Lamar. He's the young Lamar. You loved Lamar when he
no,
was coming up. For some reason, you have this hang up with Anthony Richardson. I will
because
not hear this
there's so
slander.
many passes at 10 plus yards that are just way off the mark.
So was
It's ugly.
Lamar his first year. Lamar's first year, he had like a passer rating of like what 50 for the entire year or something like
Yeah,
that. It was bad. He couldn't throw past the 5 yard line.
but
So
yeah, I wasn't. I'm still just not seeing it yet with the passing. You
all
can't
right,
run
all
forever and be a starter in the league.
right, all right. What's next?
Moving on, Jaguars.
Ugh. It's a hard one for me, honestly.
Nothing.
Um,
I mean, in London, I don't know. They scored all right. I thought Kirk. All of a sudden, after week one, he's playing well or scoring a lot of points every week. Yeah, I
the
mean,
problem is,
I don't really have any buyers or sells here.
well,
I think they're all
if
pretty accurately rated.
yeah, I for a redraft, I would have them starting no matter what. If you have them on your bench, start them because they are just hanging out in London for the week, or because they're playing again
Yep,
in
the
Europe.
Bills.
So they just stayed there, so they're not gonna have to deal with being tired, layovers, all that type of stuff. Um, they're not gonna be as groggy as the Bills are gonna be. The problem is, like for me, I've been watching Christian Kirk a lot because I bet a lot on him for this season. Trevor Lawrence leaves him open and doesn't throw to him. They pointed that out a lot in that London game. He's just chilling in the end zone, no defenders, and for some reason Trevor Lawrence just doesn't see him. Trevor Lawrence seems a little off this year. So I don't know what that's about. But Calvin Ridley, I mean, stud, gotta
Yeah.
gotta keep him. And ETN is good too, obviously.
Yep. So yeah, just kind of holds there. Next, Tennessee Titans. I don't know. You buying anyone on that team? Ryan Tannehill,
Oh,
Derrick Henry, good game. Old.
old.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and we saw 2 weeks ago when they're behind, they just don't use them because they can't. Typically, you don't run the ball when you're behind.
how much longer
Um,
do you think Tannehill's the quarterback? Because what I've heard in the offseason, right? Obviously, they got Will Levis in the
yep.
second round. But then also they Malik Willis apparently took a lot more
Looked a lot better.
strides,
Yep.
looked a lot better because he looked awful, but he looked a lot better apparently in preseason and in practice. How much longer do you think the Tannehill project lasts?
Oh, not a lot longer.
Yeah, you think
Or
the season or
I
sooner?
wouldn't be surprised if one of the younger guys they got there is starting for him next year. I'll
Well,
put it
my
that way.
fantasy
Well, you got
Tannehill.
Malik on your taxi. You just
Yeah,
better
I
hope
know,
it's
but
him.
yeah, I already took
uh,
Kyron off my taxi though.
Next, Kansas City Chiefs. Um,
Hold
yeah,
everybody.
hold. I will say, for the people that drafted Rasheed Rice, he had
Hmm.
another couple catches. That pick actually might look pretty smart later on this season. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, otherwise everyone's a hold. They played the Jets, so don't panic. Sell anyone. Going to be one of the better defenses they play.
Right.
They're about to put up a lot of points this week in Minnesota,
Yeah.
about
Well,
25 minutes away from us.
yeah.
I'll give you
No,
that.
ugh. What I would do too for a lot of people, if you did take a flyer, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, something I did, I waited till he had a good game, and then I just sold him for a pick for literally nothing, but I got a pick out of it, that you can use to kind of
Yeah,
maneuver some things later. Um, but that's all you can really do. That's the only person on the Chiefs that I'm selling. But otherwise,
yeah,
you got to
or
hold
yeah,
everybody else.
for sure him. Right after
Yeah.
any good game, yeah, you get rid of Ceh.
Yep.
Um,
So,
Next, the Raiders. They were without
oof.
Jimmy Garoppolo, so they were down by a lot. And then in the second half, that Aiden O'Connell looked better, was making throws. Um,
Adams left for a while.
yeah, he had a concussion. No,
Yeah, for
or that
most of the
was that
game.
was an injury actually earlier in the season. I think it was a
Yeah,
shoulder this time.
something. And then he came back at the end of the game for some reason, even though the game was over at that point, I think. But for some reason, he still came back out and scored a touchdown. Um, I'm selling, honestly. If you have Devontae Adams, you could probably still get a good amount for him.
To a
Uh,
contending team, oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
When you're talking
He's
dynasty,
somebody. Yeah, he's
because he's
somebody I'm
older.
definitely selling. He's older. He's still good. He's just not as good as he was at Green Bay. For some reason, it just didn't translate. He's still good though, but for me, he's a sell
And
personally.
then Josh Jacobs finally had a good week. Before this, I was saying to buy him. Now I feel like people that took Josh Jacobs, it's really hard to buy him now after a 20 point. And that's just the reality with fantasy football. It's so hard to trade a guy away after like a
Yeah.
20 point week, 30 point week. But yeah, sometimes it's what you got to
If
do.
if you're 0-4 right now and you have Josh Jacobs, you sell him for first rounders next year.
Yeah. Yes. No doubt.
Yeah.
Just because the position running back. Like I said, there's going to be some good ones next year. So even if it's a later first, uh,
Mm.
you'll be able to get one that I like. Next, the Chargers. Okay. this is a good one. This is something I need to talk about because you're gonna come on here. You're gonna talk about Quinn Johnson, but here's the deal: you got to give him till the end of October. If he's still just getting
Uh,
2 or 3 targets a game by the end of October with Mike Williams out, okay, then the pick worries me. And in
yep.
redraft leagues, he's droppable. But just one game against the Raiders, they got up by a bunch and then just ran the clock a lot. I'm not gonna
Yep.
buy that too much. They're on the bye this week, so again, that's why we're just gonna say by the end of October. We're gonna breathe a little bit here.
Yep.
Uh, Otherwise, Eckler, I'm sure he'll be back after the bye, so week 6 we'll see him.
Yep.
I don't really have any other buys or sells. Anyone I'm
Uh,
buying there?
for Quinn Johnson, for me, if you took him in a startup for a dynasty, I would wait the full year, and then
Yeah,
if if it doesn't translate after the first year, go ahead sell him if that's what you need to do. Sell him for another pick, right? You could probably still get probably a second at the very least for him. I would assume,
yeah,
um, depending on how bad he does do. Maybe you could try to talk somebody into a first, but odds are that person's going to just take a wide receiver with that first anyway, if they need it. So, but if it's in a startup, you might as well just hold on to him. Just bench him, until
yeah,
he figures it out. Um, but he's not bad to have as your backup. Honestly, I know he's not putting up those points, but I feel like from what we saw right before everything really started, he
yeah,
has the talent. For some reason, it's not translating just yet. Yeah,
yeah.
but
So yeah, he's a hold. Um, I feel like there's a lot of people that picked him like us, and I can't really say buy because I feel like the price is still like
mhm,
someone sends me a second round pick. That's an instant reject for Quinn Johnson.
mhm,
Again, by the end of the month, I would be a little panicked if it's
yeah,
still just a couple targets a game. If someone sends me a first for him, and again he's not scoring a lot of points, then it's a question. Then that's a conversation for a week 8, week 9, week 10 video. But yeah,
yep.
moving on. Denver Broncos.
Ugh.
So again this week, Cortland Sutton is a sell. He's scored double digits all 4 weeks. He's not going to keep getting touchdowns every week. Yes, the Broncos, that defense is bad. When I watch them, I feel like they're not really putting their full effort in there. Like Sertan, not to call anyone out, but like he's starting to give me like Xavier Rhodes vibes, where like he was really good in the beginning and then all of a sudden he fell apart. But again, with
Yeah.
him, I just feel like it's effort. So they're going to be behind, was the point I'm making. Still going to throw a lot. So Jerry Judy's a buy to me. Russ, same thing. Well, I mean, I guess if you're playing in a one quarterback redraft, no, you don't really need to buy Russ. He's quarterback 9 on the season.
Yeah.
Dynasty wise, because of his age, he's also not really a buy.
I don't
So
know if he's on the team next year, and if he is, if he's starting the full year at this point. I think if they're going to lose a lot more games like they are, they're going to pick up a quarterback um, in this
and
draft.
yeah, and I agree. Just because some of that is, why have him starting if we're trash? Because
Yeah.
again, that defense to me just it needs an overhaul. It needs to be
Yep.
bulldozed and yeah. The big waiver wire pickup this week, Jaleel McLaughlin. I will say,
Yep.
so I watched the highlights. He did look like he had a little bit of a burst to me that the other two backs, Javante and P Ryan, didn't really have. Um, am I rushing to the waiver wire to get him? No, I got him in one league just in case Javante doesn't start this week.
Yep.
Uh,
And
so
in that
keep
league,
that
there
in
was like
mind.
5 other people trying to get him too. I don't know if you saw that.
Or yeah, yeah, or one of
or
the
one of the
leagues. Yeah,
leagues.
we had like half the league. Yeah, put in a waiver
Yeah.
claim for him. So that's where I'm at. He's more of a keep your eye on if you really don't need him for dynasty or anything. Because again, I like the burst he had,
Yep.
but I'm not ready to say he's the next Jonathan Taylor or anything crazy like that.
Right.
Um, Moving on, Washington Commanders almost beat the Eagles this week. Scored a lot of points. I had a crazy prediction on Discord that Eric Bieniemy, the offense coordinator there, before that, he's with the Chiefs. He will
Mhm.
be the head coach of the Bears next year. I had a crazy
It's
prediction, and they will draft Caleb Williams. So it'll be like Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, but a different version in Chicago. We'll see.
we'll see.
Um, am I ready
What are
to
your
buy
thoughts
anyone there?
for
No.
not even Sam Howell? He actually looked
No.
decent.
Buying? No. Selling?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on how deep your quarterbacks are for sure in that league.
Yeah.
Sam Howell, he looked pretty good towards the end of the game. I didn't really see the beginning of the game too much. I think he had a pick or two towards the
Yeah.
beginning. But towards the end, it's like all of a sudden it like clicked or whatever. He was hitting crazy passes there. So I don't
He
know.
uh, he is in action against the Bears. I believe this is coming out tomorrow. So tonight, must
Oof.
start. Everything Washington. I am starting against the terrible Bears.
Yeah.
Um, Moving on here, New York Giants got destroyed again on Monday Night Football.
So
Uh,
so so.
the wide receiver I'm trying to buy there though for cheap because he's a rookie, doesn't play a lot. Jalen Hyatt. I don't remember if we talked about him off there or on there, but
Yeah.
yeah, we did. It's just crazy to me though. Like if you can't get him for Alan Lazard after he scored a touchdown this week, then don't don't bother. There'll be picks, there'll be guys next year you'll want to draft. So
Yeah.
live to see another day.
Right. For me, um, the Giants keep being this bad. They're gonna pick a quarterback in this next draft. So dynasty wise, he's somebody to hold on to. Because I think Hyatt looks really good. He just needs a better quarterback, and
Yeah,
that team
and
itself is a disaster. So
and just like Quentin Johnson, more play time, more targets. 2 or 3 a game. You can only do so much, and then when they're short, well, Hyatt had the one or two deep passes, but when they're short, only so much you can show.
what about
Um,
Barkley? Where you at
yeah.
on Barkley?
So I thought I saw. Oh no, am I thinking of someone else when I saw that he practiced today?
Yeah.
Um, I well, yeah, he's a buy in redraft. If he's cheap, if the
Yeah.
person on the other side's impatient, I can't remember. Well, I assume week one against the Cowboys since they got beat so bad he didn't score well.
Nope.
Cardinals when they came back and won, I'm sure he scored well that game. So
Mm.
he's
Yeah,
a
I think he's had
buy.
1.5 weeks, 1.5 good weeks.
Yeah, I guess I'd say slight buy. Like what were you thinking?
Well, I was just curious on what your thoughts were, period. Because I mean, he has had only just really the one good week so far, and then he's hurt again. For me, I don't even know if he would necessarily be a buy. Him getting hurt worries me. He's always hurt. Lately, it's been if he gets hurt, it's for a shorter period of time versus all season, like it was earlier in his career. But he's just always hurt, man.
Okay, so let me
Always
ask you
hurt.
this: redraft league, two starting running backs.
Not touching him.
No crazy rules. So what if you had Jameer Gibbs?
Oh, fuck me. uh,
I'm doing that
I
deal
mean,
in a redraft. Dynasty, fuck no. No.
right.
But redraft, because
Well,
Barkley gets a lot more of the workload. The
see,
problem is the offense is trash. and I don't think it's magically going to get better. I'm kind of getting a little worried if I'm a Giants fan, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree. Redraft it's an easy yes. I think with the dynasty, if it's regular dynasty, no. If it's best ball, I might do it. Just because then you get Barkley on all of his good weeks.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much more is he gonna play. I think he's probably got another at least 3, 4-ish years left, at least, as long as no crazy injuries. Um, and then I guess too, it depends on your rules, right? You win 3 dynasty tourneys and you win the league. So for me, that's what I go for. I just go for to end the league. And Gibbs, I love him. I think he's going to be an amazing running back. I have this fear that the Lions are going to do what they did to Matthew Stafford and just ruin him. That's it's just something that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, we will see. Moving on here, Dallas Cowboys.
Oof.
Uh, any buys or sell? So this week, yeah, they got a tough matchup.
Yep.
So far, Jake Ferguson, the tight end there, he's getting about 7 targets a week.
Yep.
He's the tight end 8 on the season. If you can buy him for cheap in a dynasty league, I like it. If it's tight end premium league, I'd send a second round pick for him right now. And that might be a hot
Yeah.
take, but that's kind of where I'm at with him. Uh, I'm trying to think anyone else Cowboys to really talk about.
Not really. I mean, if you have a Cowboys right now, you're holding them, period, just
Yeah,
because they've been semi on fire until
I will say
last.
Dak worries me because that defense is so good. When he doesn't even have to play at the end of games or when it's just run the ball because we're up by 30.
Yeah.
Uh, Fantasy wise, he hasn't even scored over 20 points this season yet in a game. So that's something to keep an eye on. If I'm redraft, that's almost what I did earlier. I almost dropped him and picked up C.J. Stroud right when freaking that
Oh,
Brian guy was.
interesting. That would have threw waivers a little bit because depending on which league that is, I might have even picked him up
It
because
is
I
it is
don't.
a one QB league,
Okay, then maybe
regular
not. But
redraft.
um, oof, that's nuts.
Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles. Are we buying or selling anyone there?
It's all a hold. I mean,
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts will get it together. I know he didn't have a great week. I think he only scored like 13, 14 points. Um,
the tight end
Swift,
Dallas Goddard. He's doing even worse than Pitts fantasy wise. So I'm replacing him.
yeah.
'Cause he
I
might be a little bit of a hit or miss all season.
I think the Eagles just don't have it to get all the way together yet. They're still figuring it out. Jalen
Mm-hmm.
Hurts has even come out and said, "Hey, we know it's sloppy, and we don't like it, but we're trying to figure it out. We're just getting lucky that we're winning." So at least they're aware of it. I think they'll get it figured out. Eagles, I had picked to make a very, very deep run, um, in general. So they'll figure it out. I mean, they're still undefeated. So,
Next, Detroit Lions.
oof.
Um, so again, Jameer Gibbs is a guy that comes up in like all the trades I get asked on Discord. Again, I like all the questions. I'm just nervous because that
Yeah,
dude is a coin flip. I like the ability. It and just like Quinn Johnson, if he gets more play time, more touches, I have all the confidence in the world that we'll see it. But it's will we? And if we
no,
do win, is it going to be the very end of the season when some of these guys are like, hey, I'm 0-4. Who
yeah,
cares if he's good in my consolation tournament? So he's a hold. Um,
yep,
Unless you got someone stupid
um,
that just likes the name or wants Lions. But
right, and like I, oh, no, it's a different player. We'll move on. I'll talk to you about it when we get to this other player. Um, there's going to be people that are going to try to shortchange a little bit on Gibbs. Look, Gibbs has the talent. For some reason, the Lions just aren't using it. Especially when David Montgomery is out. For some reason, they still weren't really using it. It doesn't really
That was
make
the
sense.
concerning part. Yeah.
I still don't understand it personally. Even as somebody who took Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan in a league, just because I just had this like fear with Bijan. Um, I don't know. What
Next.
about Jared
Yeah.
Goff, Amon Ra? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit with the pimp versus the simp. Amon Ra, you think is going to have a more of a bad week this week, but in
Yeah.
general, I'm assuming he's still a buy though.
Yeah. I kind of sense like a little bit of upset this week for whatever reason. Lions Carolina game. I
Yeah,
think Bryce Young shows something, and they win one. But then the
I
Lions will
don't.
be back on track after that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Next, Green Bay Packers. Are you buying or selling anyone there? Aaron Jones.
Uh,
Um,
Getting rid of Aaron Jones. Honestly, I think people have seen enough of Jordan Love. You either like him or you hate him. Personally, I'm selling him. Um, I don't know how much you get for him because it really depends on where that person is thinking of him. What about you?
I mean, I get some trades in dynasty leagues for Jordan Love. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to sell him. Too young.
right.
Still
Yeah,
looking good. Oh, the Lions game. I don't care. They don't play the Lions every week.
yeah. I just see some sloppiness out of him that I don't really like. I know he's
Only in
still
start
learning.
number 4
Uh,
or
I,
5. I guess he played in Kansas City 2 years ago or whatever. But
Year three, start five, and there's some really bad sloppiness that I don't really like to see out of it. So for me, I would be selling them to you, and I could probably get a lot out of them. So that's why I would be more on the sell side.
all right. The Vikings.
Oof.
Um, uh, I don't know if there's too much to add here. I mean, right now Jefferson is sky high value. Kirk quarterback 7 on the season.
Hmm.
Hawkinson tight end 1 on the season. Uh, so they're not buys, and I'm not selling them because we're gonna be behind all season, just like we were talking about with Denver. Our
Yeah,
defense, okay. Oh, they look good against Carolina. So what? I'm
yeah.
not. We'll be trailing a lot. We'll be throwing a lot. So
So
that's where I'm at.
let's say you're 0 and 4, uh, super flex dynasty with Kirk being quarterback 7. When do you sell them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, can I swap Kirk and
Or just
another
like when?
piece?
When you just say fuck it on the year, like it's just I'm just not gonna win right now. I have Kirk. I need a quarterback bad, but I need a younger quarterback, or whatever. So I'm going for picks.
Yeah,
When do you sell them? Another week or two?
for the
Now?
deadline,
Yeah,
in my opinion, to see who's competing,
yeah,
who will give me
yeah,
Bryce Young or one of the top young quarterbacks for him, or just picks.
yeah.
Next, I don't even know if we need to talk about this one. Chicago Bears.
Sell, sell, sell,
Yeah.
sell, sell.
Uh,
If you can even get
Fields
anything.
Fields had some good moments this last game against Denver, but
Mm,
the thing is, like, if they fire another coaching staff and he moves on, it's almost like Trey Lance, where there's just no guarantee anyone will, commit to him long term. And then if he's not playing, not getting starts, then he's, not worth anything in fantasy football. So
right.
I'm definitely nervous. I yeah, I'd be trying to sell him. Uh, couple divisions left. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's actually a hard one.
So here, someone did a trade earlier. It was Chris Godwin for Cortland Sutton and Isaiah Pacheco redraft.
Holy shit.
So he had running back wise. I Cortland Sutton to me, he's overachieved through 4 games. So I told him to make the trade. Just because it was like Godwin or Sutton to me, or Pacheco.
Yeah.
He's like the running back 4 on the team.
Yep. Yeah. Godwin's obviously playing good. Baker's playing better than I thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
Not great, but better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it, really, there. Everybody's kind of a hold until it starts falling apart.
Yeah. Next, I don't even want to talk about this one, Atlanta. So, I don't know if I have the energy to talk about this one this late at night. All right, Atlanta. So, Desmond Ridder had a rough week. He's young. This is expected.
Oh, my God. You give so much slack to Desmond Ridder. Anthony Richardson is running for touchdowns. We can't. No, it's not, he can't be drafting him. You can't be taking him. But Desmond Ridder, I mean, he just had a bad game. No, he's bad.
We'll see.
He's bad.
I don't think he had any interceptions.
Oh,
I think
God.
I think his only interceptions are on London, United Kingdom soil, not American soil. So there's that.
And he misses Pitts every play.
Well, so
yeah.
Here's the deal with Pitts in Dynasty Leagues. He's a hold. I still sent out trade offers for him over the weeks. The Pitts owners are not even doing it for a late first. So he's just a hold. I'm in a shallow league. I'm starting who I talked about earlier with the Cowboys, Jake Ferguson over him, just because Ferguson gets targets. That probably means Pitts is going to have a good month, unfortunately, but oh well. If that's what it takes to get him going, that's what it takes. I did the same thing 2 years ago in a 8-man redraft league when I got him for free because some dumbass just dropped him right away. And it was week 4, just like now. They played in London again 2 years ago. That was the game I benched him for whoever, and he scored 26 points. And that was like his best game of the season. So I'm sure Pitts will do that again in week 5 to me. But, he's a hold right now. A lot of talent, but...
The only person to have is Bijan and maybe Drake London. And Drake London is just because of the skill. In Atlanta, they use Pitts more for blocking, and he can't block. And whenever he is out there, Desmond Ridder is not even trying to get him the ball. So, no, absolutely not. You tell, if you can get a first for Kyle Pitts, you are taking that first. That is so dumb.
What if it's a tight end premium league? What if they get a better quarterback next year?
No, it is stupid to hold on to Pitts. It is absolutely stupid. You go get another tight end. He is not like you and I had talked about, right? There's the top end tight ends, right? You have Kelsey, Hawk, and maybe Mark Andrews, and borderline Kittle because he did have a decent game finally, ish. Everybody else is just tight end. That's basically their name because they all blend together.
They're just all the same.
Are the same.
Yeah.
Right. And Pitts is below them right now. He has not done anything in over a year. Sell him if you can get a first.
But anyways,
that is so dumb.
Long story short, we're gonna take a chill pill. We're gonna give Atlanta a little bit more time. Next, Carolina. Bryce Young. Yeah, I guess if I took him with my first round pick in a rookie draft, talking dynasty, I'm worried.
Yeah.
Um, Seeing how the other two, Stroud and Richardson, are doing. Not calling him a bust though. We still got a lot of football to be played. He was drafted because he was supposed to be the smartest one of the bunch, not the most athletic or anything.
hmm
Um,
For some
Still
reason, that doesn't
completed a
seem to
lot
be
to.
translating just yet. Like, give him a little bit of time, right? We're still
Yeah.
super early. Um, Obviously, it's unfortunate if he's the one you took for your rookie draft, but you took him for a reason. You knew the cons, right? You knew he was
Yeah.
undersized. You knew he wasn't probably the best out of the bunch. He was just the smartest. So you saw something. You just got to hold on to him for a little
So
bit. Now,
yeah,
go ahead.
this past Sunday too. Talking about another guy for Carolina, Adam Thielen. Obviously,
Yep.
we know him because we're Vikings fans. I don't know if it was just because he was playing his whole team or what, but
Mhm.
he if he has a bad week, he might be a little bit of a buy if they're gonna throw to him a lot, even on short passes, because he
Yep.
scored like almost 20 for you in a
Yeah,
PPR.
he scored 20, then 30, and then I think he only scored 19-ish, but yeah, basically 20. The
And a
following,
lot of
so
that is they just they throw to him a lot for whatever reason. So he might be a little bit of a buy because his name I
mhm,
feel like isn't that like even though he's putting up big numbers, I feel like his name, if you're not like from Minnesota, his name is just kind of whatever. It's probably luck, but no,
yeah,
he's a buy to me.
yeah, one of the best wide receivers to come out of Minnesota. So yeah, no, definitely buy.
New Orleans Saints, I'll just say right off the bat, they're playing the Patriots this week. I would not start anything Saints because I'm nervous about Derek Carr's health there. I don't totally know what happened. Well, Tampa Bay's got a good defense, so that's probably why they didn't do too well.
Yeah.
I saw Alvin Kamara had like 13 receptions at one point. Like
Oh,
that was kind
really?
of crazy. So they must have been dinking and dunking like crazy. Um, he's not gonna do that every week. So he might be a little bit of a sell,
Yeah.
depending on if you have running back depth.
And
Um,
besides that, if you're Belichick, knowing Derek Carr is probably not going to play and it's going to be Jameis Winston, well, all you need to do is take away Alvin Kamara and you're going to dominate the game. So, um, he's going to know that. And so I don't even know. I mean, obviously you got to start Kamara, but ugh,
yeah,
it might not be, it's not going to be a pretty game, I don't think.
that's kind of where we're at. San Francisco 49ers. So I will
Oof.
say Brock Purdy is finally kind of coming around on me. I'm starting to kind of believe that he's going to be in the league for the foreseeable future. It's just not short term thing. 7th round pick, Mr. Relevant. Um, Otherwise, Debo's a buy because he had like less than
Yeah.
1 point this week. Christian
0.
McCaffrey was playing amazing. They were up by a
Yep.
lot. Not gonna happen. They played the Cardinals. They beat the crap out of the Cardinals. Basically, not gonna happen every week.
Yeah.
I know Debo. He wants to get touches. He wants to get paid in the future.
Yep.
So
So,
he'll regress back to the mean. Basically, he's a buy this week.
yeah. So I actually disagree with you on the Brock Purdy. Now, I know that he is never actually he is yet to lose a game that he has started and finished, right? That's the big thing with him. But the problem with that is because he is so underpaid because he was Mr. Relevant, they were able to basically build a super team around him, right? After this year, he's gonna want more money, right? He's gonna be like,
Yeah,
look, this is what I did. I'm not gonna get paid 100 grand a year. You're gonna pay me, and it's just not gonna work. I don't think in any other system he is a starter. I think he's borderline a backup. I think he's going to be turned into like the Case Keenum. He's going to be on a few different teams. So if it's a dynasty, maybe you hold on to him for this year, but then I'm selling him. I don't think it's going to last too much longer, that relationship. He's not going to be roommates with an offensive lineman for his NFL career.
Yeah, and some of that we agree on. It's definitely the team around him that helps. Like if he was in the Bears or if he
Yeah.
was in Chicago, like obviously everyone would just be roasting him, calling him, the worst quarterback ever.
Yep.
You know, just it yeah, it'd be a shit show.
Yep.
Around him helps. They got a great line on both sides.
Yep.
But
Brandon Ayuk is a stud.
it's like because he's scoring all right. Did last year again this year. I'm kind of coming around. Am I ready to trade him for a first from him? Fuck no. No, 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 no. Not even close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's all right. Um,
Your, your job's easy when all you have to do is throw to Christian McCaffrey and he goes for 50 yards.
yeah.
You know.
Yep. Seattle Seahawks.
Oof.
Uh, Dynasty leagues. JSN is a buy.
Yep.
Again, my experience trying to trade for him in some leagues is people aren't stupid. They, it's just Tyler Lockett or DK gets hurt. I imagine he'll get a lot more play time. We talked about that
Yep.
with other rookie receivers. Um, the running backs, does Zach Charbonnet worry you at all? I've sent you some
Yeah.
trades that have him in there, and they're always auto like rejected. No
It
one
worries
rejects
me
trades faster than you, by the way.
because I actually give responses to trades rather than, oh yeah, I'll just leave this here for 4 days, and then when you forget about them, and then I
Yeah.
have a guy on IR, oh no, except we dealt with that in a different league. But uh, it's just like Charbonnet, he's just somebody. If you took him in a startup, you just have to hold on to him and just see what happens. Um, I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I think that just the Seattle alone is just not the greatest team right now. They're not what they were last year by any means. So just chill out, just wait it out. We'll see.
Yep. That's where I'm
Plus, running
at.
backs in general are premium as it is right now. So you might as well just hold on to somebody that you have hopes on and see what happens. I mean, I in one league, I have one win and fucking five losses on that. And while I'm ready to give up on the year, I'm not ready to trade away all my rookies or anything like that. You just got to chill out. It's dynasty
Hmm.
for a reason.
Next, Arizona Cardinals. Kyler
Oof.
Murray is going to remain on the pup list.
Yep.
We're not ready to come back this week. So I'll say this: Joshua Dobbs is someone who he'll be like a case. Well, actually, probably even better than Case Keenum because I thought last year at the end with Tennessee, he came in and still looked really good. Cardinals honestly even doing it even better. He'll be a
Yeah.
legit backup wherever he goes in the future. That being said,
I,
Hollywood Brown really surprised me, scoring 16 points against the Niners.
yeah.
Um,
I saw somewhere, and I don't know if it's changed. Joshua Dobbs is like the number one ranked quarterback right now in the league, isn't he? Or last week, maybe it was last week, but
Might have
maybe it's
been
this week
like
too.
like his PPR, like his pro football ranking, or
Uh, just yeah, maybe pro football ranking. I don't think so. Obviously not fantasy wise, but just football in general. I think he's
he
the
might be
number
up
one
there.
ranked. Uh, Maybe it was last week, but
Well,
he's
I
surprised
mean,
me. He kind of came out of nowhere a little bit, but
yeah.
he's got a
Was
good
last week the
supporting
week they beat the
cast.
Cowboys? Because I can imagine he'd get a lot of praise there, against the number one defense. Look at what they just did to Mac. Look at what they did
Yeah,
to Daniel Jones week one. It's
right.
something to be said there.
Right.
Um,
That might have been why. But I don't even think Micah Parsons even played that full game, so that's probably why they
oh,
won.
well, and that would be why. Last team here buys or sells Los Angeles Rams. So Cooper Cup's coming back. I
He's
in
already
redraft.
practicing. I'm
Yep,
so
yep.
pumped.
I saw the video today. Redraft leagues. I am trading Puka. I'm trading Tutu because their targets I believe are about to go way down. Um,
Yep. They got one more week on them, and then that's it. I I, I don't think
so
he'll get
you
full
think
snap.
yeah Cooper will be limited?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think he'll get full snap count. Just like even Brees Hall, he's been healthy, but he's just now off snap count going into this
Oh
week.
yeah.
So I think it'll be the same thing for Cooper Cup. It'll be, maybe a week or two to get him back into things because he did miss almost half a season last year too. So
Yeah.
he's been out for a bit, and they don't want to rush him like they did for practice going into this year, and then they hurt him again. So, um, yeah, I think he'll be on snap count. So you might have one more good week and then
Yeah.
sell them all.
Yeah,
um,
Puka and Tutu. I mean, I'm selling them now. If you think, well, okay, a week or two sell. Okay, I guess that's just where we're at.
yeah,
Stafford, just being himself, not scoring too high, but not like duds.
yeah.
Um,
Kyrie Williams
Kyron.
stock is gonna skyrocket with Cooper Cup in now end because all the attention is gonna be on Cooper Cup when he enters that field.
Mhm.
Um, I've been getting stupid trades from somebody. Not you, somebody else. uh, you think I instantly reject yours? I instantly reject his even quicker. So, uh, no, his stock is going to skyrocket here going into this week. Even though he's already been really good, it's going to be even better with all the attention on Puka and now Cooper Cup. So,
So yeah, that'll we'll wrap it up here. Long video. We want to go over each team. I think next week we'll just pick specific players. Watch it all the way through and have more questions. Want us to talk about anyone in particular? Join the Discord.
yep.
Um,
And next week,
we're
Jackson will be in town, so it'll be a fun video
yeah
if we do gurus with him. So,
yeah. If you think he wants to, yeah.
do it.
Um, yeah. We'll wrap it up there.